What if I told you Hollywood's toughest action heroes, the legends who once ruled the big screen, are now almost unrecognizable? The muscles faded, the fame is forgotten, and the truth? It's even darker than you think. Aging, personal battles, and shocking transformations have turned once unshakable heroes into people almost unrecognizable from their prime. Here are 20 action icons whose new looks will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew. Number 20. Wallace Beery. Wallace Beery was once MGM's biggest star. He made the studio millions with his tough guy roles. But in 1937, something terrible happened. Beery and other men got into a fight with comedian Ted Healy at a nightclub. Healy was beaten so badly that he died days later. MGM didn't want their star connected to a murder. They immediately sent Beery to Europe. They claimed it was a vacation. The studio fixers paid off witnesses. They made sure the police looked the other way. When Beery returned months later, the case was closed. No one was ever charged with Healy's death. Beery's career continued like nothing happened. The studio's power protected him completely. Number 19. Joan Crawford. Before Joan Crawford became a movie queen, she was desperate for work. Rumors say she appeared in an adult film in her early days. When she became famous, this threatened everything. MGM studio bosses reportedly tracked down every copy of the film. They paid huge sums to buy and destroy them, but they kept one copy locked in their vault. They used this secret film to control Crawford throughout her career. If she ever refused their demands, they threatened exposure. Crawford lived in fear of this scandal coming to light. She became known as difficult and demanding. But behind her tough exterior was a woman being blackmailed by the very studio that made her famous. Number 18. Clark Gable. Clark Gable was called the King of Hollywood. His charm made women love him and men want to be him. But in 1935, he hid a terrible secret. He had a child with actress Loretta Young from an affair on a movie set. Young later revealed something even more disturbing. She didn't consent to the relationship with Gable. She was too afraid of his power to say no. When she got pregnant, both their careers were at risk. Young took a secret vacation to have the baby. She then pretended to adopt her daughter. The girl, Judy Lewis, grew up not knowing who her real parents were. She only discovered the truth as an adult. Gable never acknowledged his daughter. Hollywood protected him completely. Number 17. Fatty Arbuckle. Roscoe "Fatty" Arbuckle was one of silent film's biggest stars. He made millions with his comedy. But in 1921, his world collapsed overnight. During a wild party at a San Francisco hotel, a young actress named Virginia Rappe became seriously ill. She died days later from a ruptured bladder. Arbuckle was accused of attacking her. The newspapers created a media frenzy. They claimed Arbuckle crushed her with his weight during a sexual assault. After 3 trials, Arbuckle was finally found not guilty. Evidence showed Rappe had health problems that likely caused her death, but the damage was done. Studios banned his films. His career was destroyed. He died a broken man just as he was attempting a comeback. His story became Hollywood's first major scandal. Number 16. William Desmond Taylor. William Desmond Taylor was a respected silent film director. On February 1st, 1922, his servant found him shot dead in his bungalow. The case quickly became strange. Before the police arrived, people from the studios entered his home. They removed items and papers. They cleaned up the evidence. Many suspects emerged: a former secretary who stole from him, a love-struck teenage actress, and jealous lovers. Famous actresses Mabel Normand and Mary Miles Minter were both linked to him romantically. Their careers were ruined by the scandal. Despite many theories, Taylor's murder was never solved. The studios worked hard to bury the story, to protect their investment in the stars involved. The case remains one of Hollywood's greatest mysteries. Number 15. Jean Harlow. Jean Harlow was the original blonde bombshell. Her platinum hair and sexy image made her a huge star, but tragedy followed her. In 1932, her second husband, producer Paul Byrne, was found dead in their home. He had a gunshot wound to the head and a strange note nearby. The studio immediately took control of the situation. MGM's fixers arrived before the police. They searched the house and removed items. The death was ruled a suicide, but many questioned this. Rumors suggested Byrne had a secret first wife who may have killed him. Others said he had physical problems that made him unable to be with Harlow. The studio created a cover story to protect Harlow's image. She continued working immediately. Just 5 years later, Harlow herself died suddenly at age 26. Number 14. Judy Garland. Judy Garland captured hearts as Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. But behind her innocent smile was terrible suffering. From childhood, studio executives controlled every aspect of her life. They put her on diet pills at age 14. They gave her sleeping pills at night and stimulants in the morning. They worked her 18-hour days. When she gained weight, they called her fat little pig. They arranged dates with boys for publicity. They monitored her food intake constantly. By age 17, she was addicted to the pills the studio provided. When she complained, they threatened to replace her. Her mother supported the studio, not her daughter. This treatment led to Garland's lifelong struggles with addiction and mental health. Her bright smile in films hid her real pain from audiences. Number 13. Loretta Young. Loretta Young carefully built an image as a proper religious woman. But in 1935, while filming Call of the Wild, she became pregnant by Clark Gable. Both were under strict studio contracts that forbid this scandal. Young disappeared from public view, secretly gave birth, then staged an elaborate fake adoption of her daughter. She claimed to have fallen in love with the child at an orphanage. For decades, she maintained this lie. She raised her daughter Judy, never knowing her father was Clark Gable. Young lived in fear of the truth coming out. Even after Judy finally learned her parentage as an adult, Young continued to deny it publicly. Only in her memoirs, released after her death, did she finally acknowledge what really happened. Number 12. Charlie Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin created the beloved Little Tramp character that made our audiences laugh worldwide. But his private life created serious scandals. Chaplin had a pattern of pursuing very young women. He married 16-year-old Mildred Harris when he was 29. He married 16-year-old Lita Gray when he was 35. She claimed in divorce papers that he demanded degrading sexual acts. He later married 18-year-old Una O'Neill when he was 54. Gossip columnists attacked him relentlessly. The FBI built a file on him, suspicious of his political views. When he left America for a trip in 1952, the government revoked his re-entry permit. He remained in exile in Switzerland for 20 years. Despite his genius on screen, his personal life was filled with controversy that eventually drove him from Hollywood completely. Number 11. Ingrid Bergman. Ingrid Bergman starred in Casablanca and was considered America's ideal woman. Then, in 1949, while filming in Italy with director Roberto Rossellini, she became pregnant with his child. Both were married to other people. The public reaction was extreme. She was denounced on the floor of the U.S. Senate as a powerful influence for evil. Theater owners refused to show her films. She was blacklisted in Hollywood completely. Bergman was forced to remain in Europe for years. The press attacked her mercilessly. She and Rossellini eventually married and had 3 children together. Only after their divorce and 7 years of exile was she cautiously welcomed back to Hollywood. Her story shows how women bore the brunt of public moral judgment, while male stars often escaped similar treatment for the same actions. Number 10. Errol Flynn. Errol Flynn swashbuckled across screens as the perfect hero. Off-screen, he was Hollywood's greatest playboy with a dark side. In 1942, 2 teenage girls accused him of statutory rape. The trial became a media circus. Flynn was eventually acquitted, but his reputation was permanently damaged. His famous line, "In like Flynn," came from these scandals. He hosted wild parties on his yacht with underage girls. He struggled with alcohol and drug addiction. He had constant legal problems. Despite his troubles, studios kept casting him because he made them money. They covered up his worst behavior and paid people to keep quiet. Flynn died at just 50, looking decades older. His hard living caught up with him, but not before he established the template for the Hollywood bad boy. Number 9. Robert Mitchum. Robert Mitchum cultivated a tough, doesn't-care image that matched his screen roles. In 1948, police raided a small party and arrested him for marijuana possession. This was a major crime at the time. His mugshot showed him looking completely unbothered. The studios panicked about the effect on his films and career. Mitchum was sentenced to 60 days in jail. Everyone expected his career to be over, but something surprising happened. Audiences didn't abandon him. His box office numbers actually improved. The scandal somehow made his bad boy image more authentic. Mitchum later joked, "It was like being caught with a shoplifted item of underwear. I was found with the evidence in my pocket." He became one of the few stars whose career survived and even thrived after a major scandal.
Number 8. Rock Hudson.
Rock Hudson was marketed as the ultimate ladies' man. Women across America fantasized about him as the perfect husband, but Hudson lived a carefully hidden double life. He was gay at a time when this would destroy his career instantly. The studios knew his secret. They created elaborate fake dates with women. They arranged a sham marriage to his agent's secretary. Behind the scenes, he lived in constant fear of exposure. In 1985, Hudson became one of the first major celebrities to reveal he had AIDS. His illness and death forced America to confront both the AIDS crisis and Hollywood's culture of forced hiding. His friend Elizabeth Taylor later said, "He was the kindest man, but he lived in such fear. He couldn't be himself. It was cruel what we did to him." Number 7. Montgomery Clift. Montgomery Clift brought sensitive, troubled characters to life on screen. In real life, he fought similar battles. In 1956, he crashed his car leaving a party at Elizabeth Taylor's house. The accident severely damaged his beautiful face. Taylor ran to the wreck and pulled broken teeth from his throat, saving his life. Doctors reconstructed his face, but he was never the same. He turned to alcohol and pills to manage his pain. He also struggled with hiding his attraction to men in an unaccepting era. Studios tried to repair his image with plastic surgery and careful lighting, but Clift's inner torment grew worse. His behavior became erratic. Directors found him difficult to work with. His final years were a sad decline. He died alone at 45, looking decades older. Number 6. Marlon Brando. Marlon Brando revolutionized acting with his raw, realistic style. His personal life was equally intense and often troubling. He fathered at least 11 children with multiple women. His family life was filled with tragedy. His son, Christian, shot and killed his daughter, Cheyenne's boyfriend. Cheyenne later died by suicide. Brando's wild behavior on movie sets became legendary. He showed up overweight for films, refused to learn lines, and fought with directors. On Apocalypse Now, he arrived completely unprepared and improvised much of his performance. Despite his difficult reputation, his talent was so extraordinary that directors continued working with him. In his later years, he became increasingly reclusive and eccentric. The brilliant actor who changed Hollywood forever couldn't find peace in his personal life. Number 5. Steve McQueen. Steve McQueen earned the nickname King of Cool for his tough guy roles. Off-screen, his life was anything but cool and controlled. He grew up in reform school and on the streets. Even after becoming famous, he couldn't shake his demons. He abused drugs and alcohol. He cheated constantly on his wives. His jealousy and controlling behavior destroyed his marriages. On movie sets, he made impossible demands. He insisted on doing his dangerous stunts. He fought with directors over tiny details. Fellow actors found him difficult and competitive. Behind his calm screen presence was a man driven by insecurity. He couldn't trust the Hollywood system or the people in it. Despite being one of the highest-paid actors of his time, he remained suspicious of everyone around him. His rebel image wasn't an act. It was who he really was. Number 4. Elizabeth Taylor. Elizabeth Taylor's violet eyes captivated audiences from childhood. Her love life fascinated the public even more. She married 8 times to 7 different men. Her affair with Eddie Fisher while he was married to America's sweetheart Debbie Reynolds created a massive scandal. The press called her a homewrecker. Then she left Fisher for Richard Burton after they fell in love filming Cleopatra. The Vatican publicly condemned their erotic vagrancy. The studios both exploited and tried to control these scandals. They used her love life for publicity while worrying about public backlash. Taylor refused to be controlled. She once said, "I've been through it all, baby. I'm Mother Courage." Despite constant criticism of her personal choices, Taylor ultimately outlasted the studio system that tried to own her image. Number 3. Lana Turner. Lana Turner's life could have been one of her film noir movies. In 1958, her 14-year-old daughter Cheryl stabbed and killed Turner's boyfriend, gangster Johnny Stompanato. He had been abusing Turner, and Cheryl claimed she was protecting her mother. The case became a media sensation. Hollywood feared Turner's career was over. The incident exposed Turner's dangerous relationships and troubled home life. At the trial, Cheryl was ruled to have committed justifiable homicide. Many suspected Turner might have actually killed Stompanato herself and let her daughter take the blame. Studios worked to reshape the narrative, portraying Turner as a devoted mother in a terrible situation. Surprisingly, the tragedy actually boosted her career. Her next film, Imitation of Life, became her biggest box office success ever. Number 2. Hedda Hopper. Hedda Hopper wasn't a typical movie star. She was something more powerful and more feared. After a modest acting career, she became Hollywood's most dangerous gossip columnist. Her column reached 35 million readers daily. One negative word from Hopper could destroy a career. She demanded that stars share their secrets with her, or she would expose them anyway. During the communist scare, she became a major force behind the Hollywood blacklist. She publicly named people she suspected of communist ties. Many innocent careers were ruined. Studio heads both courted and feared her. Stars invited her to their homes, hoping to stay on her good side. Hopper wore flamboyant hats and cultivated a grandmotherly image. But behind this facade was a woman who built her success on destroying others. Number 1. Judy Lewis. Judy Lewis lived most of her life not knowing her true identity. As a child, she wondered why she had to wear hats to cover her ears that looked exactly like Clark Gable's. She wondered why her adoptive mother, Loretta Young, seemed so overprotective. At age 31, she finally learned the truth. She was the secret daughter of 2 famous stars. Her entire life had been built on a studio-crafted lie. Lewis later became a therapist, helping others work through family secrets. She wrote a book about her experience called Uncommon Knowledge. Young refused to acknowledge the truth publicly during her lifetime. Gable never met his daughter before his death. Lewis represented the human cost of Hollywood's image manipulation. A child denied her true identity to protect famous careers. Time does change everything. Even the faces we once thought would stay the same forever. But now, here's the real question. Which of these action icons shocked you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments because we're dying to know. And hey, if you loved this trip down memory lane, Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more jaw-dropping Hollywood stories, and share this video with a friend who thinks they know their action heroes.